Here comes another important tip from the Personal Defense Network. I'm going to talk about the BROWE Combat Optic. Now, this is an optic that's designed very specifically from day one to be used on a battlefield. That means it's tough, that means it's quick, it means it's going to be endurant. It's made out of titanium, which means it's incredibly light and incredibly strong, especially when compared to typical aluminum counterparts that you might find in the industry as well. Every one of the port and areas, including the battery compartment, is completely O-ring sealed, weatherproof. This is going to allow you to be in a rough, tough environment, do whatever it is you need to do for long periods of time. This is going to stand up to that battlefield environment. Now that means, of course, that this is going to also be a great option for someone looking for a patrol rifle optic, maybe someone in the private security field that's looking for an optic they're going to be able to use in an active shooter response situation, and possibly also for your home defense situation, your home defense choice. Now the interesting thing here to remember is that this isn't a typical red dot that has 0 magnification. This is a 4x32 magnification, so it can give you a 4 times magnified view of whatever you're seeing. Inside of a room, that's not typically what we want. But because this is an illuminated reticle, which gives you the option of either a lit crosshair or a lit chevron, there are going to be applications where this will work very well inside of that home environment. Now the reality is, inside of your room distance, you're probably looking at kinesthetic alignment anyway. If I go ahead and put this rifle actually on the sling, and we think about the situation we're going to be in, if the target is as close as that wall, I'm probably just bringing the gun up and going to 4 points of contact. So I've got 3 points of contact here. I'm going to turn, come up to my 4 points of contact, and know from my practice that the gun is going to be aligned with my body in that area. You're going to be able to get those shots into the chest. If you need to transition to a more precise shot at extreme close quarters, magnification may or may not be what you need at that moment. So we need to remember that this is a specialized sight designed primarily for an open area for longer distances, though can be used up close. One of the most interesting things about this optic is the sensor technology, which allows the illumination of the reticle to change almost instantly. It's something that we're going to be able to show you, that if I'm in a well-lit area, if I'm outside of a building and I bring this up to my eyes, that crosshair in this particular one, or the chevron if I have one of those BCOs, is going to be very bright. I'm going to be able to see it very easily as a contrast point against the target that I'm pointing at. If, however, I then go from the outside environment to the inside environment, or if I go from the lights were on to the lights are off, I can instantly have that reticle get much dimmer. And there's actually a sensor built into the optic that does that automatically. So I don't have to choose one setting or another. Now I can choose a setting. I can go into a manual mode and say I always want it bright or I want it incredibly dim. But the much smarter choice for me is to let that light sensing technology actually make the adjustments on the fly as I'm moving from one area to another, or as conditions are changing in my specific environment. Again, for the sportsman, maybe even in a hunting environment. As we think about it, at morning, the sun's just coming up. It's now legal to start looking for game. I'm going to have a very dim reticle. As the sun comes up during the day, or if the sun were to come out of a cloud just as I'm getting ready to take in aim on that piece of game that I'm looking for, at that point, the automatic adjustment would really come in handy. The intuitive control is very simple. There's one button. All I have to do is press it and hold it for a few seconds, let go, boom, I'm in automatic mode. That reticle is going to be lit and it's going to make the adjustment up and down, again, whether it's the chevron or the crosshair. Now, regardless of which type of illuminated reticle you choose, the actual crosshairs inside are already set up for an M4 shooting standard NATO 5.56. So on that reticle, we can go out to our normal crosshairs zeroed at 100 meters all the way out to 800 meters. And you'll be able to see those stadia lines on the actual crosshairs of the reticle. So the BROWE Combat Optic is something that's designed to be rugged, it's designed to be fast, it's designed to be efficient and intuitive, and most importantly, it's designed to be accurate. It's incredibly high standards glass. It's actually got the reticle etched into the glass. This is going to be one of the highest quality optics you can put on a combat firearm and then a defensive firearm, security firearm, or a patrol rifle. Take a look at the BROWE Combat Optic. If you get a chance, test it out in varying lighting conditions at different ranges, and I think you're going to be really impressed with what you see. I know so far I really like the way this is performing on my Daniel Defense rifle under a lot of different circumstances, both inside of dark buildings, close quarters, and out further ranges for some extreme higher deviation control shooting. Be sure to check out the Personal Defense Network for more important tips just like that one.